I just thought this was interesting because I made some critical comments, but it wasn't trying to drag Taylor or anything because I actually think she's kind of cool. I was talking about how in order to get to the level where she's at, she had to play along. She wasn't going. You have to play this game because there's no way in hell that you can go into this industry and then confront what we are right here and then reach this level of thing. They're playing a game. And that was my point of that whole thing. That was it. I didn't go on like her music sucks or anything like I didn't even go there. Like I was actually watching her career throughout this whole thing when, at the beginning when first of all she's a pop artist, but she has done some kind of interesting things. She has made some stances, but they're very safe. We'll put it like that, safe. I did not compare her to Madonna. I That is absolutely incorrect. In fact, the person that said that, I actually kind of more viewed them as the rock version of her, but okay, they don't get along. Okay. I was like, maybe because they're too much alike. I don't know. But yeah, there was a long history with those people early on. For some reason, these older women, think they own the place. I don't know. Like you have to somehow like you have to get jumped into a gang up in here. It's like I didn't know that was what was going on here. But nobody else has been acting like that to that extent. Um, and I just don't see Taylor as being a bully. I mean, that's just the thing. But my critique has to do more with people not addressing certain things because if they did, she wouldn't be where she's at today. I'm just saying it's just the honest factor of that. However, she, I guess, is calling out Kim for the bully thing. So yeah, a long time ago, I remember this. So I was saying there's this weird vindictive thing with a lot of people up in here, and they're fake presenting. I'm not saying Taylor is. She's done some like they did some like documentary thing. I think that's generally her. I don't think in the background she's this like evil hack. I haven't heard any stories like that. She just comes across as like that's just how she is. I mean, it doesn't come off inauthentic. She's definitely not as vocal as we are, but she has tackled topics. I mean, she has tried to touch on some of this things. Now she might even more now. Um, I don't know. I don't know what she's gonna do. Um, I didn't understand these comments of recent. I did not. I wouldn't have said those things. I don't know why people are agreeing with them because she has a different like she has to be like in order to be this type of level you have to be kind of accepted into that mass majority of like even these like wholesome homes, right, like that thing, whereas these other women not so much. Okay, they were not. um and I haven't seen her throughout this thing being this like vindictive. Well, I haven't seen it, but I've seen her confronting things. And this is one of those times. So I was like looking at it, and so they're writing about it, but is it helping generate more attention on her album? Of course, that like these are, I mean, they're typically calculated moves in the fact, but do I think it's based on something real? Yeah, because yeah, as they were saying in a long time ago when Kanye did this thing where he popped up because he's being a psychotic, did this thing and then she popped in and then they put something out in the public that she did not agree with. So what do they say here? They go, that was a while ago, huh? How many years ago was that? I was like, that was quite a while ago. Taylor has humiliated Kim, and she knows that there's nothing she could do about it. A source told Daily Mail. Kim got what she feared was coming to her eventually, and is now backed in a corner because she knows Taylor's army will destroy her if she says anything. I mean, is that really the thing? I mean, honest to God, if I had something bad to say about Taylor, I would say it. And there's other women that feel that way too, and it's like whatever, whatever, because everybody's monsters come at us all. Um, but not in that way, Jen. So I mean, I don't know if that's true. I mean, I don't know. She's gonna stay silent and hope it will go away, but her friends know that it has only just started. Fans are already spamming her Insta post with "Thank you, aIMee," um, or aIMee, yeah. The most malicious part of this is the song title. Okay, so Taylor's done a lot of diss tracks, but she's never named anyone that her songs are written for. And there could be no interpretation. It is spelled out and will last forever. About this, I go, there's been a lot of people I've talked about, but I didn't actually name people. I was just like generically going, yeah, you know, these people, this, because it's just sort of like I'm talking about the damages they did, you know, whatever the story is at that time. There've been a couple I started to because I was like, oh, this girl right here is such a terrible human. There's that one that I kept calling out. It's not me bullying anybody. She's part of some setup of something that was on me that caused me to lose a pet and disappeared in Nevada. And this thing happened, right? So I was bringing it up. I go, but they're also a witness. Are they part of the plot? That is the question. It wouldn't be me bullying them because I'm calling them out. It's a question because they were people that I didn't have to bring anywhere with me to meet celebrities. Are you kidding? You know how many people would have done anything to use me to meet these people? I was talking about a lot of people because there's a lot of people up here that's all their whole thing was to use me to get to whoever or because some association to something. That's just the truth of it. And then they're jealous. That's the other thing. And I don't have to do anything to them to give them an MO to do something horrible to me. That is what's been going on. Hate crime after hate crime. And the MO, really, mostly when you're talking about women, jealousy. Deep down, that thing right there. So, so you could really sum this up here too. It's so funny they pull up this picture. Okay, it says fans are already spamming her Instagram. It says thank you. Okay, so then the insider. Who's this insider? The insider said Kim is aware of the pain she caused Taylor and that she was tried hard to make amends in recent years. But she never did the one thing that she really needed to all along. Simply apologize. I mean, is this like you kind of question sometimes, is this just like a thing and then they're gonna get together and just, you know, have a hug out? I mean, I would hope not. I don't know. But her track thank you, Kim centers on Taylor's apparent dislike for a mean school girl she refers to as aIMee, whose fans believe is actually Kim, and Taylor confirms she changed the name of the woman in question. In one line, she sings, there's a bronze spray tan statue of you and a plaque underneath it that threatens to push me down the stairs at our school. I mean, is that not true? Like, in this industry, it's so crazy. I was saying, I go, well, something that really needs to focus is the bullies, right? We're not talking about people that say, you know, I'm not into Taylor's music. I mean, it's not everybody is, and I'm sure she would understand that. But people that do things to run over other people's success, and a lot of these people did that. There is a lot of people up here that did that. And then all of a sudden they bogart the room and they think that everybody is a competition and they need to knock them out. Like there's this whole thing about it. And I was like, that actually shouldn't be going on. And it might, like, everybody has their own individual fans. And you know, as every person, they're fans of a million people, right? So it wouldn't have any real effect on, you could have hundreds of artists out here, right? And I could be fans of hundreds of artists and it wouldn't affect any one of them by me being a fan of all of them, right? So, I mean, they're not really true competition because everybody does their own thing. But the mentality here with these people is highly negative. The men do not, well, number one, the men have never supported the women up in here, okay? That's just that. Unless they want to have sex with them and marry them and, you know, use them as garbage. The women here have been highly atrocious. and they will stand on the side of other really bad men. And so they're kind of pointing it out in this story if there's anything to pull from it. I was like, anything to pull from it with these people. Um, that Kim took a side of her man, like off the bat. I was like, I wouldn't even, I see, I don't know. I just think it's funny they put this picture. Taylor's pretty tall, man. I would come to her belly button, I'm pretty sure. You were throwing punches. I was building something, and I can't forgive the way you made me feel. Screaming, fuck you, Kim, to, well, I was like, aIMee, to the right, to the night sky, as the blood was gushing, but I can't forget the way you made me feel. Heal. And she goes on to add, and it wasn't a fair fight or a clean kill each time that aIMee stomped across my grave. And then she wrote headlines in the local paper laughing at each baby step I'd take. She also seemed to reference Kim's 10-year-old daughter, Northwest, dancing to her 2014 single Shake It Off TikTok, finding it ironic as the song is about you. And she sings, and so I changed your name and any real defining clues, and one day your kid comes home singing a song that only us two is gonna know is about you. I don't know these songs, but I'm totally like, this is something else. I don't know. Sharing their thoughts on social media platform X, one fan described the song as the ultimate FU, and then while another shock listener said, oh my fucking god, thank you, aIMee is about Kim. This album is so unhinged. Others are, how could you say she's boring? I've always found her, like, she does think, like, she's not, like, outright, like, rock and roll, you know, like, F you, F you. She does these, like, things like that, and it's just like, okay. I would not feel good about that, but it's mean in one way, but when you go back to the initial thing, it's her confronting some bully, right? And I was looking at this in the situation where I was getting bullied, and I was like, I know damn well I didn't do anything to that person. It isn't a thing like, oh, you know, I initially, you know, did this thing. I can see why they're mad, you know, and they're going to go on like that. You know, this whole thing. Honest to God, it's quite the opposite. And it would be based on jealousy. That's it. That's why I was just like, wow. And it's not like I can't look at myself and go, God, yeah, I said a couple things about these people. No, there's still people that I would still say things about because they were terrible humans. And I would actually expect, you know, you have this sort of expectation that they're going to talk some crap, and they do. And so that's that. But that wasn't that story. That's why I was like, it's a shocker to me, because I was like, I have to look at something else, and yeah, it's pretty bad. I don't know, but it's like I'm a butt of it, but I didn't do anything to deserve it. It was like that type of thing. So I was like, you know, I cannot answer people's head problems. Okay, so this album is on Unhinged. Others are relentlessly spamming the comment section on her Insta and TikTok and saying thank you and snake emojis. Fans have also suggested his second song, Cassandra, could be another subtle jab at Kim owing to multiple references to snakes. Many believe the title character, Cassandra, is Taylor, while referencing the call are meant to allude to a phone call between the singer and Kanye, which Kim secretly recorded and posted online. That's just evil. I mean, this is the thing with this business is that, and I was even talking about it actually in my last thing where I was saying, you know, you agreed to do these like weird things where it's supposed to seem non-consensual, and there's this whole thing going on. The line of like what's real and what's fake, because this alone, like if you just stand back and you go, this alone is like the perfect thing to generate the attention to sell albums, right? But also there was actually a long history of this other stuff going on. So you question like, are they in it together? Is this just a setup? Is this, you know, this thing and that thing? That's why I say, it's stupid for them to expect us, the public, reading something like this to know that it's not just entertainment purposes to help generate sales for their own bullshit. I'm very privy to that garbage from the other camp. That's why I said, I go, when I'm looking at other people, I may just dismiss stuff because it's just like, oh, it's just all entertainment because they're doing this to get attention for that. It's working and it's selling and it's this. And how much of this is real? Who's getting harmed for sure and who's not? And they're just making stuff up. Like they said that there was a lot of people in this that were saying that Kim manipulated. Now, manipulated this story to make her like some type of victim, and then the guys are going, no, that's not true at all, she's just making that up and this and that, the people that were involved with this earlier stuff. And I go, that may be true, maybe we should listen to the guy about it. I viewed it, I don't know, I didn't really think about it. But yeah. And then, but here's the other thing, during this span of time in the middle of this, like I said, they promoted, kids to be with minors. That was a thing. They also made very derogatory comments towards women and degrading other women who are not like them. Like there's been, holy crap, like a ton of comments that were so out of touch with the rest of the world. Now I support anybody who want to go do whatever, she want to be a lawyer, whatever this crap is. I'm not here to like drag everybody down. This is not my universe. This seems to be everybody else's universe though, because we're somehow a threat. So I think some of the real characters start popping out, and then they get totally busted for it, and then they come back and, oh, that just didn't work out. But maybe, and then they just manipulate it to their own good to get more attention on whatever. And I'm just like, whatever. So can you really know who those people really are? I don't think those people really have a grasp on who they really are as a human. Because when you even go through the past stuff, I was like, there's obvious signs that the guys that were in their life are total predators, and then they don't say anything, right? And then they promote them, and then there'll be other victims. So this is the thing. This isn't with Taylor. So this is with the Kim side of people. So this was something I picked up. So this is a crazy story. So, okay. There would be all these victims coming forward about people that helped their career, right? There's people in their universe that help them become who they are, right? And so there'd be these victims coming forward on those people that helped them. And they shut it down. They talk over them. They degrade the women. They do all these things. And then they start shoving the perpetrator up in your face. Now, to me, that's a level of bullying. I would never do that. Like, if somebody, like, okay, let's say somebody helped me out with my career and did all this shit, and all of a sudden these people are saying that person did something to them, the last thing I'm going to do is start shoving that guy in their face and saying, shut them out, tune them out, we don't care. No way. But this is their characteristics. And some of the other women up in here be doing that too, okay? Did you guys all miss anything? Because there was actually some crazy shit. But I was like, I'm not going to respond to it this time, because I think that's the whole purpose, is to get me to respond. I don't know if it's just, I don't know what the MO is to that crap. You know what I mean? We can go into a big brawl. I'm not going to do it. And I felt like that carrot was dangled with that other guy too. And I was like, I'm not going to do it. I think they just want the attention. I think they want me to give them all my attention and to start going in on that, because then they get my attention, right? Because I think that's the end goal, is to get me to do that, and then to come and like hurt me in some way, or, whatever they get off on. But they did that. And I was like, I've never seen Taylor do anything like that. My critique again had to do with, nobody really stood up and like went into this industry and like kicked some butt and like really brought up these things. But, that's just that. I go, why should I suffer because I am? And so that was my point. I wasn't like, Taylor sucks, why is she this? She's boring. I didn't say nothing like that. I didn't. So, I mean, if anybody reads any of my stuff, I was not even going there. I'm just separating myself from them. That thing right there. No, what I call out is things like, okay, yeah, Katy Perry had like allegations. All of a sudden people want to cover that up. I was like, well, it has nothing to do with her music sucks or anything. I don't listen to her, but whatever, There's been a lot of people in here where I was just like, I question, like, obviously there's other shit going on because it's a favoritism thing. And And we know these people are playing games. I mean, you have to play games to get this to this level. You do. It's just the honest to God truth. I'm just not going to do it. And that's just the honest to God truth. I'm just not going to do it. I'm staying true to myself. And, you do you, I do me. But yes, this group of people, I can't really even imagine Taylor and them being really good friends. Like, it's such they're quite polar opposites as far as the personality goes, because I find Taylor to be actually a really down to earth, like, cares about everybody, or at least tries to. She has that personality going on. And she doesn't have this like expectation that you guys should, do all this shit for me. And this whole other thing that's going on with some of these people, selfless in some way, right? Unlike unlike this group of people here who turn themselves into a victim on every story. It's the craziest thing. They're like, I don't know what this OJ bullshit is, but all of a sudden, everybody be scared. It's like this is all garbage. These people wouldn't even be known had it not even been for that case. So technically, these people became famous off of a woman and some innocent man's death, like these innocent people's deaths. And if you stand back from it, it's pretty effed up. I mean, it just is that hard work? I mean, for maybe the father that that came out and did that whole thing, but it's there's a lot to be said about it. It's just not that's just not a fair game. Okay, let's go down here. Oh yeah, the way they use their kids, you're gonna just a lot of these people, their kids come out really jacked up, and there's a reason. After tying the knot with Kanye, Kim was at his side. Following year, Taylor presented him with the Lifetime Achievement Prize at the VMAs. The pair appeared to have brought an end to their row, but an interview with Rolling Stone, Taylor noted that this was far from the case. I'm standing in the audience with my arm around my wife, and this chill ran through my body, she recalled. I realize he is so two-faced that he wants to be nice to me behind the scenes, but then he wants to look cool, get up in front of everyone and talk shit. And I was so upset. He wanted me to come talk to him after the event in his dressing room, and I wouldn't go, adding an explosive new level of their feud. That's just weird. Kanye shocked the internet when in 2016 he realized his new song Famous, featuring the vulgar lyrics, I feel like me and Taylor Swift might still have sex, why I made that be famous. Yeah. Then he uses the B word. So I was talking about that. I was like, I mean, isn't it gross just coming from Kanye even? It's like, I made you. It's like, excuse me? Okay, so that's probably what she's referring to, too. Like, Kanye furiously defended himself in a now deleted tweet in which he claimed Taylor thought it was funny and gave her blessings. Taylor's representatives hit back, claiming she was never made aware of the misogynistic message. Yeah, so I think she's also tackling that thing right there. It's just, what the hell? Taylor's representatives hit back. Okay, yeah. Kim then sparked a social media firestorm, which he shared a Snapchat video of Kanye during a phone call with the Cruel Summer singer, which appeared to prove he had asked Taylor for permission to include lyrics about her in his new song. After rapping the line, West can be heard saying, I think this is really really cool thing to have. Okay, so I remember this. Yeah, but you guys didn't put the year of this. It was a while ago. Swift responds, I know, it's like a compliment, kind of. Yeah, I mean, what's dope about the line is it's very tongue-in-cheek either way, and I really appreciate you telling me about it. That's really nice. Taylor became the subject of a furious backlash when the video was shared online, and many accusing her of being a snake. Doesn't it have this feel of like Amber Heard, where something's like manipulated in a strange way? Like, I don't know, whatever. So after Kim's post made her the subject of multiple snake memes. Okay, she stood by her version of events in a furious social media statement. The moment when Kanye West secretly records your phone call, then Kim posted on the internet, she wrote before asking, where is the video of Kanye telling me he was going to call me that B in his song? There you go. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's different. Like, I probably wouldn't even talk to Taylor this way, but if I said it to her, it does have a different meaning, but we probably shouldn't say it because men are saying it like that, and he's kind of talking down. This is language that's used towards women, and so normalized it is. I think we've all spewed out these weird words here and there, but the language and its historical thing and its meanings to it, we don't have really words like this towards men. Pig, I mean, you know what I mean? It's not quite the same. And then it says it doesn't exist because it never happened, and you don't get to control someone's emotional response to being called that B in front of the entire world. Yeah, she didn't like it. Yeah, so even when they show the clip, I remember this thing from a long time ago. Even when they showed the clip, it's like they didn't show that, right? They just ignore it. They want to hate on women, so they'll just go with it. Even though, like, if this was in a court, right, you need to see, like, where did she actually say she okays this specific line, right? But that's the public. They hate women so much that then they'll go target her. So I guess she had to put up with a lot of that. So she's talking about that. Okay, so then he promised to play the song for me, but he never did. While I wanted to be supportive of Kanye on the phone call, you cannot approve a song you haven't heard. Being falsely painted as a liar when I was never given a full story or played any part of the song is a character assassination. I would very much like to be excluded from this narrative, one that I never asked for to be a part of since 2009. Oh God, is that long ago? Yeah. This is when I was online, and then this other stuff started up with other people. I was just like, what the fuck? Yeah. Taylor took a break from the limelight before returning in 2017. Look what you made me do. A point dig at Kim and Kanye, which took aim at the trolls who had furiously branded her as Snake. Okay, pointed a dig at Kim and Kanye, which took aim at the trolls who furiously branded her as Snake. She appeared to reignite the feud again in 2019 when she hit out a celebrity manager, Scott Braun, who purchased the rights of her masters. Okay, I remember that. Some fun facts about today's news I learned about Scooter. Purchase of my masters as it was announced to the world. All I could think about was the insistent manipulative bullying I received at his hands for years, like when Kim orchestrated an illegally recorded snippet of a phone call to be leaked, and then Scooter got his two clients together to bully me online about it. Wow. Okay. So she did talk about a little bit of that stuff, but it's not talking about. Well, it's not talking about the stuff that we are with this human trafficking and the kid thing and everything else. But she probably, I don't know, I guess she skirted past. I don't really know. Um, it would have to make big news for me to catch the stories, such as those things. I do remember some of that. It says, or when this client Kanye organized a revenge porn music video that strips my body naked. Oh, okay, yeah. Yep. And then it all exploded once more in 2020 with Taylor's film Miss Americana, in which she noted that she felt alone and bitter during her fallout with Kim and Kanye, and adding that she was branded wicked and evil. Yeah, we have a lot more in common than these other people. Thing where all those bad things are happening, and then she's not saying it, and then she'll put it in a song, and then a few comments about it, and blah, blah, blah. But if she came out full blast, going at it, mm-mm. That's what I'm saying. It's just kind of weird. Around the time leaked footage of her call and with Kanye appeared to suggest Taylor was telling the truth about the conversation. Days later, Kim posted a series of messages claiming Taylor was not being fully truthful and slammed the singer for her timing and rehashed the feud. Yeah, I remember that. To be clear, the only issue I ever had around this situation was that Taylor lied through her publicist, who stated that Kanye never called to ask for permission. They clearly spoke, so I let you all see that. I mean, what the hell? You know what I mean? It's just, that's how they are. Like, there's this vindictive underlayer to a lot of these people. And Taylor's longtime publicist, Tree Payne, quickly responded with a social media post of her own, tweeting, "I'm Taylor's publicist, and this is my unedited original statement. By the way, when you're taking parts out, that's editing. P.S. Who did you guys piss off to leak that video?" Okay. Kim clapped back, claiming, "No one ever denied the word B was used without her permission," adding how she felt actions she and Kanye took were ethical. After being named, I would not be. Okay, do not. Here's the thing I learned, though, from this whole thing. Do not ever expect your bullies to change, and do not give them another chance. I have learned this lesson in the worst way. I am such a, like, I used to be this, like, really forgiving. Like, I would just, everybody change, you know what I mean? Like, I would do this thing. And those people never change, and they're constantly that horrible human. It just, that's just who they are. That's just the truth of them. That's just who they are. I would have to be okay with that's who they are, and I'm not. So, yeah. After being named as Times Person of the Year back in December 2023, Taylor slammed Kim for taking her down psychologically and forcing her into hiding during their long-running feud, while subtly branding the reality star and her ex-husband Kanye as trash. Yeah, that's the funny thing about the story, because Kim comes out like as this one type of person, and then here's Kanye, a total psychotic, total sociopath. I mean, it's beyond bipolar. He knows what he's doing, and he degrades women to hell. And then apparently they match up in heaven, and have a ton of kids. And I'm like, this is horrible. I go, what is why is this going on? Like, there's something you don't know, right? Because for these two to match up, it has to be a match in hell. Like, it has to be, there's something where those people relate. And like I said, there's like these few tidbits. Like, this is actually one tidbit of the story, but I was saying just throughout this time period, these evil person would come out. It's like this evil person would come out, and then they would change it up, and they're victims, and this whole thing. Tortured Poet Department is Taylor's 11th studio album since she burst onto the scene in 2006. Many believe she also targets her ex-boyfriend Joe on the record, accusing him of cheating on her in her song "Smallest Man Who Ever Lived." How can anybody say she's boring? I mean, I think she has a good sense of humor too. I mean, that's just, Taylor was in a relationship with actor Joe, 32, for 6 years before their shock split in 2023. Fans have also speculated that her latest work referenced her short romance with 1975 frontman, Matty Healy. Okay. I don't think Kim can easily be humiliated. Look at her prior relationships and media presence. Those people have no shame, dude. They really don't. I mean, there's just a level here. The thing I don't like, the thing I really didn't like in this whole thing is them running over victims, like, because that's my top topic of this stuff, and how women bully other women because, and what is the thing behind it, right? Is because those people help them get money, right? And so they're like, oh, we're going to defend these people because they're the ones that put food on my table. So screw these women. And then on any level to sit there and try to say they're putting some positive message out for women is a joke, because they are. And yeah, promoting adults with minors was just like, we're all talking about being victims and this stuff, and I was like, yeah, we're in the state of California, so I don't know why this group of people would be even promoting that on a kid to begin with, and then somehow trying to normalize our abuses. It's more like that, and they've done those things. I don't know how I almost forgotten about the Kanye episode at the Grammys when it happened. It was like Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. Actually, when I look at the that situation right there, they're both bad. I mean, Chris particularly with his mouth, like for some reason, spewing hate speech on women and degrading them and being this person is okay. Um, Will doing that, like we're not promoting violence, but technically it wasn't a thing where Will was degrading women and this thing, and then he did an action that he shouldn't have done, right? That type of thing. So it was weird that there's no actual good person in the story, like technically when you look at the story. So I would not like to compare that. For some reason, Chris Rock still gets this pass. I don't agree with that. It's like Chris Rock is the Kanye talking shit to another woman and doing those things, right? But he's not viewed in that way. No. Kim wasn't with Kanye when this happened. He had a date. He had a victim. He had another victim. He keeps degrading women, and these women play along. Like, I'm telling you, fame ain't worth none of that. I am not even going to be, I don't even want to play. Even if you think she's consenting or she's any of that. I'm not even going to play that bullshit right there. She was a year later and publicly took him. Oh, yeah, she took Kanye's side in all of this. So while she was not involved at first, Kim's insert herself into the feud. Yeah. I would like to think I wouldn't do that. I think after that initial thing where somebody popped up a story years and eons ago, where they threw something out and they're like, they're saying all this. And I jump into a story that I don't really know the whole thing about. And then it like came back and I go, oh my God, that person's right. These people are awful. Like it turned into this. It was a horrible experience actually because normally, the funny thing is I stay out of everybody's business. I honest to God do. I was like, people would like literally tell you, they're like, she never complains about anything. Honest to God, that was actually how I was known for. Like, you never complain about anything. You never seem to have problems with anything. And inside, I have all these problems, right? With all these people, but I put up with it. And it's like this thing. And then something happened when that team came after me. I was like, I'm not putting up with this anymore. These bullies everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Courtney being evil and it's like weird because I'm like, I supported her. I don't know why the hell she'd be coming at me, this shit or whoever. She was totally on drugs at this point. I mean, obviously she's having a relapse, I think, at that point in time. Maybe she don't even remember it. I mean, I don't know who specifically did it, but it was like me defending her because somebody was degrading her in her own form. It was crazy. I'm like, are they really banning me for defending her? Yeah, it was a crazy thing, and I was just like, should I expect any more from this? I mean, should I have a higher opinion of this group of people? It's like, no, no. Um, I mean, I didn't take it too personally. It was just kind of like psychotic, right? So, mhm. And she just got ran over here, just pulling some stuff. I was like, I just don't agree with that because there's a lot of negativity said by another party of people, and I go, yeah. I mean, I have a lot to say about that too, but just something happened with the industry before we got into it where people's heads the way that these people act is just, I don't know. I didn't act this way, but somehow the people that were like a couple years older and beyond my age were a bunch of narcissists. I don't know. It's just something weird there. um I was always wanting to help people. Like, I don't, they try to paint me as this monster. I was always like, I'm such a horrible person because I was like, the more that I thought, oh, I'm gonna get all this money, okay, I'm gonna buy everybody, or I'm gonna help all these people. I'm like, that's my thinking about it. And in reality, people saw that and then they're like, oh, we could take advantage of her like real easy. Yeah, and that's just what happened because I like to see people happy. It was like that type of thing because I found my joy in helping other people. But it was kind of crazy how I was saying how I would do this, and these same people, if I were to call them on an off day, they would never help, even if they could, right? And I go, that is teaching me a really valuable lesson here. So I was like, this is really bad. And yeah, it's just this expectation that I should always do these things for these people, and then I did them, but I didn't mind doing it. That was the another other thing about it. It wasn't like I was just bitterly going and doing stuff. I was like, oh, I'm more than happy. What you need me? I'm gonna drive 8 hours for you. It was just like this because I'm just that type of person. But yeah, they all took advantage of that, and then treated me like garbage. I mean, that's just the truth of it. I was like, I never did anything like that to them. So this is the thing that came back. I would be really weirded out calling somebody I knew and then they did that. The only time I would throw, like, I've thrown the audio, like, when people are bullying me, like, they have to do something. It's not a setup so, oh, I can go harm them. I'm gonna go do something and set them up so then I can go harm them because they're ruining my face out here. This type of thing. The stuff that I show has to do with, they made a claim and it wasn't true. And then, lucky me, I actually had something that was left on this thing. And then I was like, oh, there, they were calling me. It was like that because they presented a different story to the public. And I was like, wow, that's kind of weird. I didn't tape it to go and harm somebody, like this thing right here. And it was known that they got taped because they left a mess. You know what I mean? It's a different thing there. So, I understand why Kim thought that brown dress was a good look. Because Kim will never believe that she looks anything but fabulous, even when she was pregnant. But I'm not going to be dissing on her because she was pregnant. But that is like, Taylor got the last laugh, and people are getting tired of the Kardashians while well, they were up here with the Diddy thing, too. That's why I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, man. And they wouldn't have any problem seeing, Diddy with some kids because they were promoting it. That's a huge problem in this thing. And they were shown to cover up sex crimes. That's why I was saying, I go, the Kardashians totally did that. I was like, no way. I was bringing up, and like I said, I think it was even Courtney that tailed it off because she brought up that guy and she said that he was gross, something weird about him. But then later, there was allegations on that person, and it was them, the K's, that wanted to come out and just defend him and run this, like, whole thing over, this other thing. It was, like, horrible. I was like, no way. Do they even need to be involved, right? No. But what they do is, once the allegation comes out, this is what they do with the media. So the allegation comes out, and then the next thing you'll see, and they're not the only celebrities that did this. There's a ton of celebrities that keep doing this. Okay, so an allegation will come out. And pay attention. So, like, I brought up some people, okay? I brought up some people, and then a celeb, you just don't know which one it's going to be, comes out and then forces them right in your face to, like, something positive. Like, oh, we just did something together. Oh, look, oh, he's the greatest thing on earth. Yes, that's the bullying. You're going to miss it if you're not paying attention. So they did this with that other individual, and I was like, oh, they're nasty doing that kind of crap. And I'm glad I'm not the victim of that person, but they did it. So there's going to be other victims out here that at some time, if they ever go down or anything like that, they're going to probably come out and say, oh yeah, the K's, man. I was like, this thing. Yes. So I've seen it. Well, I've had it happen to me, but I've seen it on other people because I touch on the stories of the sexual assault. And so radar, the radar of, like, all the celebrities and then who did it. And it's like, oh yeah, the Kardashians, they wanted to help the guy out and cover it up. Yeah. It's horrible. They don't care. They literally don't care. These people, I go, you just don't understand. I go, It's funny how they paint me as this horrible person, but I go, like I said, I'm not a perfect human being, and neither probably is Taylor Swift. But the thing is that we're not, I'm not, I'm going to speak for myself. I'm not a horrible person like that. Like, I would never do these type of actions. There isn't enough money in the world to get me to, if that's what it takes to get to that level of things, we don't want it. And a lot of these people have a hard time comprehending that. And I had other friends that were like, I don't even want to be famous. So I don't even want to have anything with this universe. And, you know, you don't hear them saying anything. Like, I'm pissed because they won't say anything because they know the story. And it's like, you could at least say something to back me up. But they don't want any of that attention. They don't, just this whole thing about it. I go, some of these people, well, plus they know the story and they see what's happening to me. So there has to be some level of, that's fucked up and I don't want any part of it. And I know what she's saying is truthful. And the way that those people are acting is scary. So they may have this level of thing too. It could be that, because they were there. So how is it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about it now, the truth of the entire story. She bullied and laughed at young country girl. Now she's getting owned by a global phenomenon. Go make another home video, KK, no class, their talent. Kim bullied Taylor for years, then bullied Princess Catherine while she battled chemo. She apologized to neither, and I bet, oh, did she? I see, you guys, I only pay attention to media stories, like the main media stories that will pop up in my feed, and so I will run based off of that, and then unless it's dealing with sexual assault or something, I will deep dive into something. So I don't know their everyday conduct. I don't know anything about that. That's not. Many A-list celebs in Hollywood were high-end escorts to the Hollywood elite. No skims about it. I can't answer that other than there's some men that would wish that everybody was. So I can't say that if it's that way or if it's a fact that they you know, I can't answer. There's some things in that. I was like, I don't know if they're all victims or I don't believe that this group of people are victims. No. Kim doesn't mind being humiliated. Ray J is the one that's calling her a liar, actually. So I was like, I actually kind of laughed at his bullshit because his crap, but he's saying that she's all full of shit and trying to paint herself as a victim. At least that was some of the information I ran across. So I was like, that's probably. I called out somebody else for their bullshit like that, and it just, you know. Not that I take back any of my point of view on those things. It's just, there's a lot to it, huh? This universe of people, yes. Bullies. They're like, at some point, it's time to grow up. Well, bullying actually starts with these adults, man. And then the kids run off doing it, and then their kids become bullies, and that's just it. The adults are really bad bullies up in here, you guys. Like, they really are. It ain't no joke. And that's why I say, you say one bad thing about somebody, you know, and a legitimate gripe with somebody, all of a sudden, like, a million people start coming at you. And that's probably the truth of this story, too, is that when this happened to her, it wasn't just Kim and Kanye. You know? Or the other person that she brought up being a part of something. It's going to be all their friends. What was that thing with the whole... Okay, every story from the past, because I even pulled up a lot of them. What was that? That Girls Gone Wild guy. Weren't they all pals with them? There was a whole slew of perpetrator men that human trafficked and raped women, did all these things, and guess who'd be up and friendly with them? These people. That's why I said, they're all bullshit. There's too many, you guys. Now we got Diddy, right? This whole thing, all of them. It's just like, it isn't a thing where it's just like, we're so dumb, we never seen it. It is not that. And then it's trying to paint me like, I just have all this inner knowledge and nobody else knows it, right? Oh, only me. I'm the only one that knows, like, this thing is going on. And these people are so dumb and innocent, and they never seen a damn thing. And I'm telling you, I haven't seen some of these other things that people are talking about. I go, well, some reason that didn't come up to me, but these people are legitimately acting clueless and dumb. They know nothing about it. They're not part of it. Yeah, it's bullshit. It's just plain bullshit. They'll go bully you if you come after those people.